Welcome to DrupalEasy Show and Tell, where I attempt to use or do something in Drupal that I've never used or done before. Now, demoing things like this is something I've been doing for years during DrupalEasy office hours. DrupalEasy Show and Tell is a little bit different. I've got some expert help. Each episode, I'll have a guest that just so happens to be a subject matter expert for whatever it is that I'll be playing with. Now, before we begin, I want to make sure you know about our live online classes. We have regularly occurring sessions of our 2-week professional single directory components class, as well as our 15-week professional module development class and our 12-week Drupal Career Online beginner focused course. For specific dates and pricing, you know what to do. Head on over to DrupalEasy.com. All right, so first up, Eric, who is here with us on the call, one of our alum. He and I, or us, were talking. He is on a project and kind of struggling with Solr integration, with DDEV Solr versus DDEV Drupal Solr versus just talking directly to the Solr server on Pantheon. So rather than me speaking for Eric, you want to kind of summarize what you
No,
guys are?
this is a great summarization.
Oh, fantastic.
Uh, if
What's the goal? Let me ask you that. Like, what's the goal, Eric? Because I know that you know, at one point you said that you might have to switch to Lando because of this, and I'm not really clear, like,
yeah,
why.
well, it's the like the other developers on the team use Lando, and
Yeah,
Solr just fires up with it. So you get a local instance, and Solr just works, right?
right.
Um, I would love to see if there's like a read-only connection to the Pantheon Solr. Um, I don't, as you're saying, I don't know if we need the Solr add-on for that. Um,
So are you
or
trying to
just
connect to Pantheon's server, or are you trying to imitate Pantheon's server?
uh it's not so much imitate, either have a local instance running or connect, either one.
Are you using Search API Pantheon?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's an open issue there, both in the GitHub and in the both and in the Drupal queue that explains how to use. There's a patch there for how to do that with Search API Pantheon, and everybody that's responded to it has said that that was successful.
Okay.
It's in the Search API, the one that I think it's both places. I'm a little confused. They seem to maintain it on GitHub, but people keep talking about it on Drupal.org instead. But there's an issue there that describes it. I think the title is white screen, uh, uh, but it describes the problem with DDEV, and there's a patch there, the Search API Pantheon, about how to resolve that. And that just uses the DDEV Solr. DDEV Drupal Solr is essentially obsolete. It's just the way it used to work. But the maintainer of Search API Solr has been trying to get people over to DDEV Solr.
Okay. All right. No, that helps. Great. Thank you.
You want me to try to find
So
that issue for you?
No, I can find it. I can find it. Thank you.
Okay.
if you can post that in Slack or something, Eric, that'd be great if you once you find that.
And I'd love to hear your result with it in your situation as well. I don't think that there is, since it's a Pantheon problem, I don't think that it's a problem that DDEV Solr can solve, but that's an interesting thing. So an issue in the DDEV Solr repo would be welcome as well. In fact, I should have done that. Somebody asked about it in Discord the other day, and then they just ended up finding it right away and posting on Drupal.org that they had solved it with that. But I think that since Search API Pantheon is intended to be used in Pantheon,
Yeah,
it just is missing something. And of course, it's not maintained by MKAL Brenner, who is the master of it all.
Yeah, this was kind of my question. Like, if you are going to use Search API locally and have it talk directly to Pantheon Solr server, you don't need any DDEV add-on, right?
No,
You're just,
no,
yeah,
not if you're going direct.
right. And so this was
Yeah.
like my question, and Eric, I think this is what you and the team need to answer first is, you know, do you require having a local Solr instance running? For me, I almost always do because I want to be able to test like that the Solr index configuration. I'm adding fields, I'm adding processors, I'm doing this, I'm re-indexing, I'm making sure that it works and the search results return what I want. I don't want to be doing that. I mean, I guess you could be doing it against like a Pantheon Solr dev environment, but then your dev site index is getting input from two places and that can get all messed up. So um yeah, I think that's really the first question is, can, do you need to be able to like re-index during development um based on processor configuration or field configuration inside that search index? And I think the answer to that, more often than not, generally speaking, is yes. And I think that speaks to why, you know, the DDEV Solr add-on exists. That makes sense what I'm saying there? I see Eric slightly
Yeah.
nodding. It's definitely not an enthusiastic nod.
Yeah. No, no.
There's a few degrees of nodding.
I would, um, if I only wanted to be a consumer of Solr, I would have, and if I had the option of hitting a legitimate server, which I assume you can do on Pantheon, then I would use the upstream thing. But if I were actually testing search and indexing and stuff, then I would absolutely use the other.
So what's the most up-to-date thing here?
So yeah, so if you see
This
the
or the
comment
patch?
down there, it says that two people confirmed that the patch
The
that was
patch.
posted worked for
Okay.
them. So
I mean, it's a tiny little patch. I mean,
well,
oh, it's all about the
look at it.
configuration stuff. Yeah, that's it. That's the whole thing. So yeah, and like Randy just said, this would be useful if you want to talk directly to the Pantheon Solr server from your local environment. But you have
Well,
to
I
make
think
sure that's the problem you're looking to solve.
no, I
Yeah.
think this connects to DDEV Solr. That's my understanding. So you can use
Oh,
this with DDEV Solr. That's my understanding. I don't think you should have to do anything at all to connect to Solr's with Search API Solr. I mean, Search API Pantheon. So, so if you're connecting to Search API Pan, sorry, if you're connecting to a site which is on Pantheon, live on Pantheon, using the Solr server there, and you have access to it, there is nothing that you would have to do on DDEV to do that except configure it to use that URL. This is
okay.
for using DDEV Solr locally.
So let me ask a question. I would have assumed, I think I probably have a site where I'm doing this where I would just use config split to disable this module on my
Yeah,
local
yeah, yeah,
rather than patching.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And use Search API Solr instead of
Right.
Search API Pantheon. So that's a totally legit, well, you know better than I do, but that sounds like a totally legitimate technique.
Right. So this takes the place of Search API. So this module, Search API Pantheon module, takes the place of the Search API Solr module. And the Search API Solr module basically just allows Search API to connect to a Solr server, and this module allows Search API to connect to a Pantheon Solr server. Am I saying that right?
Sounds right to me.
Sounds right, yeah. So
I
it's
didn't
actually
even
funny.
know I didn't even know about Search API Pantheon until they came in and talking about that in the Discord the other day. Didn't know it existed. And I
It
don't know
might,
why Pantheon would maintain their own. That doesn't make any sense to me, but
yeah.
that's not here.
All right, so yeah, so there's kind of, I think, two paths for you, Eric. Path number
Yeah.
one is
No,
determining
this is,
definitively if you need
yeah,
a
no, I
local
think this is,
server. And then path number two, if you decide that you want to have a local server, there's kind of two different ways to do it. One of them would be using this patch. The
yep,
other one would be using config split to disable this and enable Solr
yeah.
and configure them appropriately.
Mhm. That sounds like a next week thing.
All right, yeah, yeah. Tell Bob to show up and we'll
I'll ping him.
yeah, okay.
Cool.
All
Thanks.
right, cool.
Thanks, Randy.
That
Okay. So Randy, a couple things, just some quick hits with DDEV. That before you got here, I basically did a DDEV dash help when we were talking about it that, as people were filtering in. And there's a few things in here. I don't, I will show this command when I'm teaching, but otherwise I don't, have any reason to use it. But this one caught my eye. Convert module OOP.
that's
Object or
that's something that you have installed that we have nothing to do with.
I installed it.
Yeah, yeah. That's something that you have either global or in your project. It has nothing to do with anything we have in detail.
Oh, you know what this? I know what this is then. This is, I'm going to blame this on Nick Laughlin. Um, this is a tool that we installed, he and I, correct, well, under his direction. It worked out great. It actually converts hooks into object-oriented
Okay.
hooks.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so um, I forgot about this one, this Drupal
That's
local settings.
that's also the same. That's something you installed. Doesn't have anything to do with us.
Is it this that gives it away?
Well, that's actually anything that's shell will look like that, but yeah,
Okay.
what gives it away is I've never seen it before. So
Yeah, that's true. Okay. So how do is there a command I can run to kind of see, is this coming from an add-on or like what the source is somehow?
sure, we'll
Like,
do
what would that be?
ls dash. Come on.
Okay, ls dash that dev. So Randy just put something in the chat for me. Oh, yeah. Home directory, got it. That makes sense. Yeah, so there's that one. I don't really see the other one. So,
So
well, look at that.
you can have project level commands and you can have global commands. Second command is to see your global one. Um, in in general, if you want things to be used by your whole team, you'll check them into the project and not have them global. But the global ones are pretty handy, when you're doing your own thing. So
So
I
why
assume
isn't
that this
this?
Drupal local setting in your
Oh, that's a
project,
file.
then
That's a file.
but you
So,
can
so
do a
this
find
must, I
command
wonder,
to find it too.
is this something that I created?
It's commands host or commands web. You're missing a path there. That one's in web, so you're
Oh, I didn't see web there. Okay, okay. All right. And then if I do a count on that. So I wonder if this is something I created a couple of years ago and totally forgot about. It totally is. It's got to be because this is That's exactly what it is. It's a global command that I created for myself to automatically create a settings.local.php file. And I totally forgot about it. All right. Whoops. All right. I hope this next one is not the same uh, situation, but it
By the
could
way, you
be.
can just type DDEV. You don't have to do the help thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Launch A? Is that one of mine? That
You
can't
know
be one.
that? No, that's from an add-on. That's from like Adminer, from a previous version of Adminer. I don't think it exists anymore. Type it and see what happens.
Yeah, I get it. It just goes to my site.
Do a DDEV launch A-H.
I think I did this yeah, it gave me an error.
Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure. So it's showing you where it is, and I'm pretty sure you should just delete it. I think it's from an old version of the Adminer add-on. Um, the one thing to know is that you can basically delete anything out of your global, and the standard stuff will be put back there for you. So
Wait a minute. Hold
yeah,
on.
good idea to look at that. So yeah, it's an old Adminer thing. So DDEV launch A-A, does it do anything? Does it work?
Oh yeah, admin there. There it is right there. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
look
So
at it.
what do you want me to do?
Oh, well, I would say just remove it, or you can do DDEV launch A-A if you want to see if it works. But I don't think any of that exists, and I don't think you. Oh,
Yeah. No,
yeah, I
here, it gave me
don't know.
this.
Yeah, I would
It
just
gave me
delete it.
that. All right, so I'm going to just do a RM on that. Okay, go to dev. All right, cool. Cleaning things up. Look at that. We got rid of that one. There's Drupal local settings. So let's go back to this one because this one was in global. This one was not. So this means it's defined somewhere in my project, right?
In your project. That's in your
So,
project. That's in the web directory and the commands directory of your project. .ddev web,
oh, okay.
.ddev command web,
Uh,
command web.
no, it's got it. There you go. Oh, okay. All right, and that's something that I installed.
It's interesting. It's got a .sh direct, got a .sh on it, and uh, I didn't know you
Yeah,
could do that. Yeah,
and it doesn't have it here. That's what you're saying.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you could do that. Have a .sh extension on that.
All right, so let's take a step back with all this stuff. So this is really it's kind of interesting, and I think we dove too deep at the beginning, but so the available commands for DDEV, a bunch of these are obviously you get with DDEV, right?
Right?
But you can extend DDEV with global commands, and those are found in the ls-al
Tilde slash .ddev command.
DDEV commands. Right, and they're different. There's
They can
but
execute inside the web container, or they can execute on the host or in the DB or in another container. You can actually create directories like if Solr, you
right.
could have it execute in the Solr container.
So is it possible if you do a DDEV get on an add-on for that add-on to add
Yep,
commands in
yep.
here?
They can add global commands and they can
Okay.
add project commands. Most of them add project commands, project level commands, but
Right.
there are some that do global. So, for example, there's a new one, Cloudflare Share, that installs a global command.
And Cloudflare Share, that's like the ngrok stuff, right? Or no?
It uses Cloudflare D. to do a share like ngrok does.
Okay. So, or if you want to have your own custom command like I did, this is just a script.
It's just a script.
It's
Yeah.
just yeah, like a bash script, I
And
think is all it
the
is.
script actually, it doesn't even have to be in Bash. It could be in PHP or it can be in another language. But
Oh,
the only
wow.
ones that we mention, test, or document are in shell.
Okay. So these are the global ones at this path right here. And then, so this is, home directory.ddev. And then, as Randy said before, well, here, let me just, rather than doing that, let's just you do an ls-al, there's a .ddev directory inside the project, ls-al.dev commands, kind of a similar file structure inside of your project as well.
And the project ones take precedence over the global ones.
So if you have two that are the same name, the
Yep.
project one wins.
Yeah.
And so when does it like during DDEV start? Is this one of the things that happens during DDEV start?
Actually,
They're all collected and
it does it with any command. So these days, auto completion works with, I don't think you have to do anything to have it take effect after you create a file. I think it figures it out, and it does autocomplete on them too, based on the
yeah.
instructions that's in them, which is a contributor did that recently. It is so great because you can do autocomplete anywhere, and it just does it all right.
Yeah, I think now that you mention it, I think when I did the object-oriented hook stuff with Nick, I was surprised I didn't have to do a DDEV restart.
Yeah, I
He
think
said
you
you could
used
just
to
run the
have to
command.
do. I know you used to have to do a restart because it was all done during the start setup. But like
Yeah.
I say, great contributor working on that guy in New Zealand did
Nice.
an enormous amount of work on that and made it so slick. And even he made it so that you don't have to restart and so that the completion works just marvelous. It's really delightful.
Nice. Nice. All right, let's do one more because DDEV because I don't I was telling the students before, not the alumni, I should say, before you arrived, I don't use it that often, but when I do need it, I'm glad it's there. And I mentioned this to you as well, the share command. And I think it's evolved over the years because didn't it used to be where you had to have like an account or something? You have to create an account, but it seems like
You still have to have an account. So
okay.
you have to have an account with ngrok, but it can be a free account.
Okay.
It can be free or paid, but you
So
do
what's
have
the
to have an
first step? If
account.
I just went DDEV and grok, let's do it
Do
like
do
I don't
DDEV.
know.
So there isn't an ngrok command. It would be
Oh,
DDEV
share.
share that
Sure.
you would be
Sorry.
doing.
Sure. Okay.
So,
That's
so
this one
you've
right
got a
here.
project that's running. Is that true?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So try
This,
DDEV share.
yep. I
See
got an
what
ugly
happens.
little site, like my little DDEV 11, my little Drupal 11 test site.
So you've got an account and it's working, and you can click on that HTTPS FC6 thing
This one.
and open that up. So
So
you
I'm going
you have
to put,
iTerminal? Because if you don't, you should. You should be able to just click on that or command click on that or whatever.
I can open it. No, I'm going to put it in Zoom.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone
Yep.
else can click on it.
Yep. I'm clicking on it, man.
And look here, I'm seeing people click on it.
Yeah. I'm looking at your custom field demo.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome, isn't it? Um, so yeah, so if you go to like if you didn't have a free account, and
Yeah.
grok.com.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, I don't think I spelled it right. Oh, no, C. And grok.com. There we go, that's better. Yeah, so apparently I do. Oh, look there. There it is. Oh, I've exceeded my limit with everyone clicking on
Wow.
it.
How about that?
Yeah, so just come here, create a free account, And then I guess, did I have to install it at some point, Randy?
Yeah, you have to install
Okay.
it. Yeah.
All right.
And
So I guess the steps would be if you want to use this, go to ngrok.com, create a free account, and then depending on your operating system, it'll give you installation instructions, homebrew on Mac, which is nice and easy. Is this my token? So I'll probably have to hide this, right? If I'm in a recording, this looks like a token for me. So
It's been a while, but I had originally installed it from them. And then to keep it up to date, because I had gotten some messages that it was out of date, then I installed it through Brew. But I don't think, I forget if it was version 2 or version 3 that Brew didn't have at the time. I don't know if that's been fixed since, but Brew is an easy way to keep things up to date. So that's why I like using it if I can.
yeah, it works with Brew these days. So
it looks like I'm actually behind a bit, right? Because it's 314, but
I got the wrong thing here. I wanted to give a different link.
oh, there we go. So Randy is put, so here, let me take some notes here.
So there's a sharing page that goes into the real details of this, and the direct DDEV share link tells you what you need to do. It's pretty easy, but the DDEV share with complex Drupal sites or with non-Drupal sites, like especially WordPress and Magento, and Typo 3.2 has this problem. They often have the URL or the host name bound into them, written into the thing. So typically your first launch will work, like you first click on ngrok will work, but then your site will redirect to whatever it thought it should be doing locally.
Right.
Now that doesn't happen with a plain vanilla Drupal site, but it will happen with like a Drupal multi-site that is not set up to be understanding what it's doing. Because Drupal multi-site uses the specification typically, right? In the settings.star. So what'll happen is you hit it and it says, oh, I don't know that URL, so I'll just redirect you to the default URL.
Right.
And so in a multi-site, you'll have to do some configuration to make it work. The other thing that happened the other day that I hadn't seen before is some people have, like they're using Apache and they have an HD access that redirects to the canonical site. Well, that's not going to work either, because all of a sudden you're redirecting to the wrong site, or
How about the
redirecting to the local site.
Drupal has, I forget what it's called now. It's in, you put it in your settings.php and you define what are the
Yeah,
what
it used to be in Drupal 7, the base URL.
no, not the base URL, the oh my gosh, what's it called? There, let me
Your trusted hosts.
trusted host settings. Thank you, David.
Yeah. If you're using DDEV, the trusted host has already been set to everything. If you're letting DDEV manage your stuff, so in settings.ddef.php, it's already lightened up. So
yeah, it's everything. So that's why it works. That's why this ngrok thing works when it's not a ddev.site. It's because this is in play. Okay. Good. Close those. All right, let me and then to get out of this, just Control C, I'm gonna assume. And is it safe to assume that no one can get here now? So if I do a reload, the endpoint is offline. Okay, there we go. Good. All right, what was that? You mentioned this a few minutes ago that there's a Cloudflare version of this or something?
yeah, there's a new
What's that?
add-on, and I've only done casual testing of it. But if you go to addons.ddev.com and search for share, you see the DDEV share CF there.
Yeah.
And you can do a DDEV add-on get of that. And it actually requires no account,
Oh, wow.
but with an account, you can have a stable URL. You want to try it? Try it. See what happens. Oh, you have to
Yeah.
install Cloudflared, so it probably tells you what to do there. So you have to, you can brew install Cloudflared. I think it probably tells you how to do it there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all
Yeah.
right there. So,
And
it's kind of surprising. So we just saw with ngrok, there's limits on it. So,
and this has Cloudflare is obviously a very powerful and useful set of
yeah.
1,000 sets of tools. And they offer this for free with, no limits. And it's,
Why?
yeah, well, they, you know, they want to be the go-to, and they are the go-to. Try it.
Oh,
You have time to
okay.
try it?
Yeah, we got time.
Yeah,
Okay.
just do it. You'll have to get it tells you in the instructions what you
Yeah.
need. Yeah, it tells you in the instructions what you need to do.
Oh, I can do this first. I'm sorry.
First you have
Okay.
to do that, and then you have to do the right add-on get.
Well, that's working.
So there's things you need to do.
Oh, that's done. Okay. So now we're going to do the DDEV. All right. This will start a tunnel.
So just
Oh, okay. Now the
share
usage.
CF
Okay.
is all you have to do there.
Okay. DDEV share CF. All right. Is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, right here. Copy. Open link. Go to my other window, as it's always going to do. But that looks like it's working. Here you go, everyone. Click on that.
And of course, with any of these, when you try them out, you don't really know how well they work until you try logging in, especially. So go ahead and try logging in there because that's the real test. If it stays on the same site when you log in.
Yeah. No. Well, no.
Yeah. So you had a redirect, and so it did not
Yeah.
work for you for whatever reason. And this this add-on may not be 100% yet. Not sure, or you may have buried in your thing you may have buried your host name in there somehow.
No, it's a
You've
pretty
got
vanilla site.
yeah,
It's
yep,
cookies issue. Yeah.
yeah.
So
So that's
but,
the bottom line is when you really want to see if share is working, you have to log in. But I think that would normally have worked with a plain vanilla Drupal. I'm not sure.
yeah, so I'm kind of curious. They say anything about because it was no results for that. But you should be able to change the cookie settings fairly easily.
I don't think you even have to. Is this plain vanilla here that you've got?
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple things added, but nothing funky.
Let me try it.
It's just admin. Y'all can try it if you want.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't work, right? You already did it. So
Yeah. Canceled by remote with error code, context canceled, abruptly ended abruptly. I'm not going to pretend to understand everything. Yeah. No one else is able to log in, right?
I am having a hard time grokking where the URL is. There it is. It's
In
just
Zoom.
not at the bottom, so it's hard to find.
It's in the Zoom chat, yeah.
when I tried to log in, I got the login page, but when I clicked login,
it redirects to nowhere.
it went to d11.ddev.site,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
And yes, mine did the same. So this doesn't work as well as the ngrok solution, and I don't know why. I'd be interested to know why. Let me just see what
So
happens.
I'm going to go back to ngrok, and I want to try the same thing with the DDEV share solution, make sure that I can log in.
I've done this with
DDEV
DDEV
share.
share just fine.
Open link. Again, it went to my other window.
Yeah, I'm fine with DDEV share. So that's interesting. So there's a thing going on there that is and that needs an issue open there. He's been very responsive, but I don't think he's from the Drupal world. I think he's using it for something else.
Okay.
But there's tricky things, it's not that easy to deal with the cookies and the redirects and the embedded names. And then on WordPress, it's so much harder because those things are actually embedded in the database or in the configuration.
Right. I mean, depending on even if it's a custom app, I mean, you never know what's going to be in a custom app as far as what's hard coded. So, all right, cool. All right, so what did we talk? Let me summarize here what we've talked about. We talked about Solr add-ons versus connecting directly with Pantheon Solr, as well as Search API Solr, Search API Pantheon. We learned about custom commands a little bit. And then we also learned about DDEV share and DDEV share CF. So I think we covered some ground. Any other questions for Randy? I don't see anything. Randy, let me ask you a question. What's your, when you are talking about DDEV to someone who is brand new to DDEV, they're a developer and they're using some other tool. What's your, what do you think is DDEV's biggest selling point? Like when you want to convince someone that DDEV is worth them looking at, what's your go-to number one place you go to?
Well, the biggest thing is that if you're working on a team, you don't have to spend your life maintaining your junior developer's development environment. You check it in, you manage the settings, and they do a DDEV start, and they're going on any platform they're on, whether it's Windows or Mac or Linux. They can do exactly the same thing, and then you don't have to spend your life maintaining the junior developer's world. So the everything's checked in, your environment is consistent, and the next time you come back to it, you don't have to figure out why it doesn't work when you change the version of PHP on the host or something like that. So I think that's I have all kinds of opinions about this, but I'll give you a couple of links with more than that.
When people ask me about, in the Drupal universe about DDEV versus Lando versus Doxel or custom, my go-to answer is normally just the stability and the cadence of releases of DDEV. That I think is the biggest, is for me the biggest factor. It's rock solid, and it just keeps on marching forward.
We're very proud of the quality and the support that we offer too. We think we offer better support than any commercial organization.
That's what I was going to say, is having Randy available online for when you get stuck.
Well, I mean, not to downplay Randy's, contribution, but there's a lot of folks who answer DDEV questions now, especially in the Discord. And Randy has worked really hard to make it so he is not the single point of contact or single point of failure
I know
DDEV.
I've been around for a while, so Randy's
Yeah,
been the one that's usually answered, but
yeah.
Stas
So,
is amazing. It, I mean, you get to the funky technical things, and Stas he'll let me blather on for a little while, and then he'll come in with the actual correct answer.
he's like, all right, Grandpa, step aside. Let me show you how it's done.
That's exactly.
Oh
he
man.
he has such amazing mastery of not just everything DDEV, but somehow he can find things on the internet, and he's just thoughtful, and he actually reads the issue more carefully than I do. Sometimes I'll start blathering based on what I think they said, and he's not as prone to that.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a huge asset to the DDEV community. All right, well, cool. Randy, you don't have to hang up, but this is where I'm going to stop the recording. So let me say thank you for your time and for your knowledge. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Don't forget, if you have a need for professional Drupal training, be sure to check us out at DrupalEasy.com.